Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Napoleon Total War with the Eras mod, specifically the Victorian era, and we've been playing as the Prussians. Last time around we took over Oldenburg, as they were allied with our enemies, the Dutch. The Dutch, of course, that backstabbed us and attacked, and they are yet again attacking, but the keen eye might tell that something different with the campaign right now, and that is because I have gone ahead and switched over to 40 unit armies. So that's why all my full stacks have turned into half stacks. For this episode we have two goals: sign or somehow sign a peace treaty with the Dutch. I'm hoping that maybe defeating this army will be enough to get a white peace with the Dutch. I don't want to spend any more time than I have to dealing with these guys. If that's not the case, then I probably won't achieve a lasting peace. The idea is to get a lasting peace with the Dutch. If I have to burn down every piece, and if I have to open up the levees and drown the entire country to do it, then so be it. But I would rather spend as little effort as possible, as the Swamp Dutch, the Swamp Germans are not part of our overall goal. Neither is the Waffle ones, because when we get this far, there's too much French influence, and we don't want that. So what I want to do is I want to start switching my focus over to what we have next, which is going against the Austrians, and specifically taking and adding on the Saxony region to our burgeoning German empire here that we're building. And then once that's done, then obviously the Hessians come next, and after that, now it would be the Bavarians have actually been enemies with the Austrians, and they still are, so there would be no problem there. So what it looks like is, in terms of what we need to incorporate, is Mecklenburg first, which is the second part of what we're doing this episode, if I didn't say that. So first probably the battle against the Dutch. Secondly, we're gonna add on the Mecklenburg people, because the Mecklenburgians, is that how you say it, have gone ahead and invaded and taken over Denmark, taken that from Sweden. Everyone's in control of Copenhagen except Denmark at some point or another. But that, because they've left the capital open and they're no longer allied with anyone, they're very isolated, and clearly also the population seems to be starving. So there's less and less of them, which means that we probably high time to actually go in and seize that, which we should. Once that is done, Saxony comes next, and as we attack the Saxon, we also have to fight their allies, the Austrians. So we'll have the Prussia-Austrian War of 1866, and we'll win like we always do. Once that is done, then as it seems that the Bavarians are allied with the Hessians, we'll attack them and we'll take out those in a war. And then of course, since the French now actually hold more territory than they're allowed to, because they're holding German territory, then we have to fight the French for Stuttgart, and also the Alsace-Lorraine region as well. We'll take that before the French taint it with their macarons and whatever else they do. Froggies. Right. So that's the plan anyways. And hopefully I will able to achieve this within a reasonable amount of videos. The idea has always been, or at least tried to reduce the amount of length on each campaign, so I could possibly do different versions of it to placate the people that want me to play as different nation, because usually it's the popular ones like the Prussians, the English, the French, and so on that usually win and in the votes. But if I'm able to kind of do am able to do shorter campaigns, then I could do more of them, and I could do different countries. It could be interesting to do something that maybe not as popular, or, you know, whatever country we ended up doing. Anyways, that's far in the future though. Right now, what we need to do right now is I'm gonna take this army, Alexander Lichtenberg, and I'm gonna bring his army down to aid out the Holster. No, he's not called Holster, he's Holzer. Friedrich Holster's army. I said Holster again. We'll just call him Holster. Mr. Holster, right here. It looks like he's even got one of those powdered wigs. He's very out of date. We're gonna aid out his army, and hopefully there'll be the Dutch will realize that clearly the war favor is no longer on their side. The Dutch are at this point affluent, the power is moderate. My power is strong and I'm rich. I don't know if rich is more than affluent. But we'll see. I think once we bring this army down, then they're no longer moderate, hopefully. And with that, we might be able to persuade them to surrender. Also, with now that we've got 40 stacks, we gotta up the amount of troops for all armies. And since I recently was able to get the new drill school, and that has given me the capabilities of recruiting grenadiers, which I can have 20 of. So we're gonna recruit a load of those and put them into the armies as well. And I also noted that with this, we now can recruit dragoons, 12 of them, and cuirassiers, 9 of them, besides then the named units and so on. And those are the units for now. I don't know what we get for the next one, which is a bit away. I need conscript infantry tactics. Currently we're doing artillery firing drill, which should make the upkeep cost increase, but that's not what I'm looking for. The 10% bonus to accuracy, which I'm hoping will improve the Haubitzen, so we can actually hit something with those blasted guns, and hopefully somehow increase the reload speed, because the Haubitzen take quite a while to reload. Right, but with that out of the way, it's now time to attack. And here we go. We are able to sandwich a Dutch army of 3,000 men in between our two armies, which are roughly 3,000 each. And without further ado, let's go ahead and smash the Dutch absolutely and completely. The battle is underway. We've marched up to meet the enemy force. While we do outnumber the enemy, including our reinforcements will not arrive until we start to lose soldiers. And so I've started to advance my army here, and my idea is to advance with the light troops, just take the enemy's fire. Then we're gonna get these 4 going that way, and these 4 going that way. The cavalry is back here. My artillery is setting up here. Now, technically I would have 3 batteries, but we took a heavy amount of cannon shot, and so I had a number of cannons destroyed, and in one battery to the point where there's only 2 guns left. The enemy batteries are in the center, 2 of them, and then 1 off to the side there. Oh, there's a cavalry attack going on here, which I had completely missed because
our men are running, sir.
I've turned off the flags. Oh, they're attacking all along the line actually with their cavalry. I'm gonna turn up the lines here. Actually, you're gonna have to protect against this. And these units gonna have to pull back a little bit. These two move into line there, and these two move into line here.
Our men are running, sir.
My first battery comes online. As all hell is breaking loose here, I'm gonna take the 2 heavy cavalry units, and instead of aiding here, I want to take out this battery instead. And with my 2 light cavalry units, I want to line up somewhere closer towards the middle here. I don't need to hold this square any longer, I just need to form lines to shoot down the enemy. Advanced. The heavies will swing around and hit their dragoons. These 2 will start to advance upon this guy right here, and the second battery will set up into position. It looks like we managed to hold out and push the enemy away. So we'll now hurry everyone up there, and then I want these 2 batteries to set up somewhere there, so we can get close range fire with those 2. The enemy retreating cavalry retreats right through this, actually. Right, my batteries have started opening fire, and it looks like we completely destroyed their howitzer battery. Right, I'll have the dragoons swing around, and then the Brandenburg Cuirassiers will do a frontal charge and meet the Dutch dragoons, while then our dragoons now turn in from the back. Oh, my battery is once again retreating, I see. Never mind that then.
Our men are running, sir.
Now we have some infantry retreating over on this flank. They're actually holding out pretty well against my cavalry, which I don't like. Overall, I think we should actually start to pull back. The fight did not end up as we wanted it, as I was sort of taken aback by the enemy's cavalry charge. I think we can actually go for their batteries with both of these. I want to swing them around all the way to the back, and we're going to retreat the entire line as we prepare to regroup ourselves. That's a 12-pounder, in fact. I'm gonna order my 6-pounders to fire on the enemy cavalry, as it is pursuing. The entire Dutch army is actually pursuing us, which I obviously preferred if they didn't. We're gonna... These probably... Yeah, they're very tired even. We're gonna have them slowly work their way back to get to the 12-pounder. Oh, well, now I'm shooting through my squares. Not very clever of me. And as soon as that cavalry is broken, we need to run to get away from the Dutch.
We have killed their general, sir. Now they must break.
I never aim for them. They just keep riding into my field. Oh, actually, there's a huge target here, isn't there? Oh, the cavalry unit here just broke because they didn't like being in the fire. Right, I'm gonna bring the hussars around, so we swing around on that side. And then all these units, which are smaller, will move into the woods, with these two moving further back. And then my idea is to move slightly further back. Oh, let's see. Wonderful. Are we receiving reinforcements? Or no, I'm looking at the map the wrong way. That's the units coming up from behind. Yes, come closer.
The men are fatigued, sir.
Probably
and
not
must rest
close
a while.
enough for canister shot. But definitely close enough for some good work. Right, now push back out and hit them while they're all in congested formations like that. Right, my 2 cavalry units in the back has destroyed all the enemy's batteries. Focusing in 2 units on this guy right here. And I think we're gonna try and get an even better position with the furthest to the left musketeer unit. We're gonna have to take out this guy.
Our men are running, sir.
Yeah. As I like though that the enemy seems to be gravitating towards our artillery. Or I ordered you to move out there to get a better position, but it seems like you took quite a bit of fire during that time. The Dutch are advancing on us.
Sir, our general is under attack.
Without actually returning too much fire, and they're coming straight towards here. I'm just going to go ahead and inspire the 10th light by crushing those. Well, I thought this was a good idea. It actually turned out not to be. Both units will retire quite a bit. The general will come over here to try and keep them under control. The cannons will hold fire and now switch to canister because the enemy is getting so close. And the infantry will fall back towards the woods. The hussars and the heavy cavalry plus the general staff and the 3rd. Let's see if I can rally these two. Get them back into the fight. Hurry back
Our
to the
men
woods.
are running, sir.
No, they all break. The enemy gets close to the guns. Sure, the guns will deal with them, but okay, let's see. Yeah, this one definitely got hit pretty badly. And a rally that involves both of these. Boom. And we have them rallied. 2 units remain here. Concerned after all cavalry charges, we're riding into fire from these 2. But I'm hoping the retreating units will kind of cover us in a way here. And with the reinforcement cavalry coming in. Unfortunately for the Dutch, they do not have any reserves to call upon, and so all their tired troops get destroyed. Back to round shot. Okay, try not to ride straight into the enemy. Make sure that those units get destroyed, and then I want the lights to actually come up here. I think the cavalry is probably enough to do the work alone, more or less. Aim for that one, and you aim for that one. And now the cavalry will just turn through here, and we'll have the third move in from this side. The battle turned into quite the slaughter, which most of these battles seem to turn into. Oh, hold fire. The infantry will continue to advance. This guy is going... I don't know where this guy is going. I'll inspire the musketeers right here. Your general is right next to you, so you better bloody well hold.
One of our units has used all its ammunition, sir.
That would be the general, because he doesn't... He has pistols, but he's not got them loaded. And there we go. We are victorious. Although it ended up being a very bloody battle. Here's the result of the battle. We deployed a total of 5,500 men. Of course, half of them didn't make it to the field. The enemy deployed 3,181. We ended up losing 1,000 men, while the enemy lost 2,898. So we have 4,500 men remaining, while they have roughly 300. In terms of friendly fires, we managed to inflict around 100 friendly fires during the battle. While the enemy did something similar, actually. When it comes to the kills, it's the Hussars, followed by the Brandenburg Hussars, followed by the Brandenburg Cuirassiers, followed by the Dragoons and Hussars. So it's really, a lot of the kills are done after the battle is actually done, and we are just chasing them down. more so than through actual, because once we get into the units that just traded fire with each other, it falls rather rapidly. And in terms of the kills versus death for the musketeers, it's not all a good reading. For some here, this one lost 118, killed only 51. This army, the army that we were relieving, didn't do anything.
Yes, sir.
I think I might have enough to actually get into the town, so I'm gonna take the army that we were relieving and have that one ride out to kill that army while we move in here. Did we actually lose a unit? I did not notice that. It's not one of the cannon units and not one of the cavalry units. Is it... This one has 3 light units. Could it be a light unit that was destroyed there during the cavalry charge? I don't have enough money. I'm gonna stop recruiting this one and notice that yes, we can actually recruit the Fusilier. So 1 Fusilier unit was destroyed during that battle. I'm gonna set this army... Actually, we should be on our side of the border, so I can receive some reinforcements. Although this region, it has really poor reinforcements. I could switch this to supply warehouse to actually improve that. However, I'm hoping to end the war with the Dutch right here. So we just fought them in this bloody battle, and they're still moderate though. Peace. Let's just see white peace, and they agreed to it. Wonderful. Now, let's see about securing. They are not interested in trade. What if I give you something? Something that anti-French sentiment will give you that, and guerrilla training and active intelligence. Or something. I would really like to give them just technologies that would give them minus happiness. Something like that for trade. Another satisfied? Trade should hopefully increase this a little bit. We're 93 minus. If I next turn hand over, like, what is it? You can hand over like a gold on a horse or something. Present a gift. The finest china in all the land. We'll hand over to the Dutch, and that should bring us to about 0. Or actually +7. And this will now give me time until 1866, which is next year, to reorganize my armies into full 40 stacks, put them into positions ready to attack the Saxons, and then obviously we're gonna have to go through a bit and attack the Austrians as well, just slightly. But for the rest of this episode, I'm hoping here that this army, together with the reinforcements that will hopefully be recruited here, should be able to take on Mecklenburg. I should probably attack Mecklenburg as soon as possible here. End turn. That'll give me the 8th regiment of Life Guard Grenadiers. Should join with this army. And then I can attack this before they get any regular troops there. And since they don't have any regular troops, it should be a cakewalk to attack and take this over. Now, unfortunately, it will not destroy them, but I'm sure they're ready for a peace agreement, since they will only have a very unhappy Danish province left. Yes, since we are now at peace with the Dutch, I can get my trade navy out here. I'm thinking, though, I should probably actually get all of the ships out and just send them on trade mission. Actually, what we'll do, this one, rather being trade port, could be a military port, so I can actually protect my trade routes. Maybe not from if we ever end up in war with, like, Great Britain. Because it's probably not a good idea to end up in a naval race in terms of building up navy against the British, but enough so that I can protect the Baltic Sea anyways. And potentially then also protect my trade routes wherever I decide to set them up. And so the Prussian trade navy goes on a mission. And with that, our turn is done. Let's go ahead and end it, and then end Mecklenburg. Technological advance artillery firing drill. Very good. Spy network established. Now, you might even tell me what they have here. They will probably not be able to interfere. They're too far away. We've got more trade ships on the way. And the 8th Regiment. Let's just join in. And Denmark-Norway just... Oh, that means that the... Oh, and they were pushed out of that? That's interesting. Actually, what I will do is I will attack, lay down the siege, and then move this into position. Because if I do it the other way, I might not have enough movement space. They're currently at war with Sweden. I will not directly declare war on them. I will ask my ally, Sweden, join war. I will join you against Mecklenburg. In exchange, I would like to... If I could get something from this. Abolish. This one's probably the best one. No. I would like to get something out of this, though. I will join the war, Sweden. But I want you to give me 2,500. How about that? No? You stingy bastard. Joining war. Do you know, we just had to join the war because Sweden demanded it from the alliance, and they were giving us the royal sum of 500. Oh yeah, I'm sure he'll be delighted. The Danish, they're happy with us because they're destitute, and I just set up trade with them. Poor Danes. Seemingly have a large army. We just did a massive reconstruction here in all of our areas to build out the Court of Appeal everywhere. Yes, we are now at war. Why? Does it not... Why did it not allow me first to fight them? Oh, we will actually bring this force in reinforcement. I guess it would have been too easy otherwise. We have no proper general, but we do have a elite regiment. And I did bring 2 6-pounder horse artillery. The worst kind of artillery we have. Why is the Dutch still on the border? Bastards. Right. We have 2,100 armed Mecklenburgians that will be reinforced by 2,000 regular troops, including some... oh, they have their own lifeguard grenadiers. Right. Onwards then to battle. And the battle is underway with an early cavalry charge by the enemy as they attack my marching column. However, the column is led by the guards, and they're quick to set up squares. We're gonna have to hold the column here until the enemy is forced away. The enemy's battery is just set up in response to this and are firing on the column. We're gonna have to deploy the entire army into line. I'm gonna see about getting the lights out there. My artillery does not reach. The enemy is just out of reach for it. But I'll order them to open fire. Now, I could, I guess, move them, but I fear that we could possibly lose the function of some of the artillery pieces. It's already, actually, lost function of them. Oh, the enemy is already attacking. One of the good things about this army is that a large part of the army is actually grenadiers. A large part is the newly recruited grenadiers. You know what? I will, in fact, move the artillery pieces. As the regular army keeps moving up here, I would like to set up the cannons here, perhaps. So I have the opportunity to fire at the 12-pounders, as well as firing into maybe flank shots into their regular troops. There is a risk here, of course, that we might lose the battle, just because I think they have about as many regular troops as me. And I mean, clearly their armed citizenry is not doing much to them, or doing much for them. However, I'm worried about the fight against the enemy's musketeers and so on. And currently, it's a bloody armed citizenry, and we have hard time dislodging as it is right now. With the enemy regulars now coming in, I think we're gonna have to go really hard on the units right here. The enemy regulars, their armed citizenry have not killed anyone. Also, their fire rate is abysmal. And now they've killed one guy. Okay, what I want to do... Oh, so this is the general, actually. Maybe the general should sit in the back. They're moving their artillery piece forward. This one, though, I think I can play a little bit more with. I'm gonna keep an eye on their cavalry, though. Right. What I want to do... Yeah, hold fire. And do a quick advance and then fire on them. And then these three will swing up and fire through there, and then the last guy will move all the way there and try and run around. I want to see if I can where I could possibly set this one up. The general, I feel like I could set up here. You somewhere in the flank. This is kind of an exposed position because you could get flank fired, but currently it's only like the armed citizenry. Oh, we're gonna be able to actually hold fire, hold fire, hold fire. Look at how they're all moving away, leaving this guy basically alone. Which means as I line up all of these, we can move even closer before we decide to fire. You can go ahead and deploy. I want you to switch to canister. And I want you to... I'm not interested in keeping these guys anyway, so I'm gonna move them really far forward. Right, let's see if this works. As we have 3 units that moved really close. Should hopefully do a massive amount of damage. Should even move even closer. And I want you moving on their 12-pounder battery. Oh, their cavalry is making a charge. I feel like they're very tired though. But it's better to be safe than sorry, right? So let's form them into square just on the flank there.
Sir! Sir! Our general is under attack!
Now it is a musketeer unit, but I probably should have maybe charged him in the flank. Let's keep everyone moving. There was one unit out there. It's an armed citizenry. I don't have to worry about that. Right, drop the square. You're set up for canister work. Right here. Fire, even though they're out of range. I think like they probably be tired. They're not tired, but they would be, what's it called? Their morale would break. Oh, look at that. They have gone ahead and deployed it like that. Which means that I, hopefully, can hurry and attack. Are you ready to fire here? Oh, you are, but you're not at the same time. Wait, hold fire and then pick target at will. Because now you've got one right ahead of you. All three of them fired. You took out only 20 men, it seemed like. Keeping the pressure on here. And so the units on that's on the exposed flank. Oh, they just opened fire here. Unfortunately, it looks like they're not going to be able to get... he was just about to fire there. Alright, you guys can retreat. Yeah, another unit on the... It's fleeing. And I will order... Boldly, I will order everyone forward here.
Our men are running, sir.
Who's running? Oh, this unit. What? You guys lost one guy and decide to rout? Excuse me, what? I will move my general's battery to over here instead. What are they doing? What is the Mecklenburg force doing, really? What happened here as well? Crazy. As soon as you are forced to retreat, I can run the guys in the battery up again. I'll move these guys slightly back. And then we're gonna have these three moved forward. Seems like the enemy is now kind of coming back at us. This guy is getting swarmed. I'm gonna dislodge him with a grenadier charge if he doesn't move already as we advance here.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest away.
Get rid of them. These guys just standing here. Actually, maybe I can run around, get into position here. The enemy just keeps retreating in the face of our advance. Right, can you now... Oh, that maybe because they were so tired. That's why they... The enemy just keeps running. But the enemy is exhausted as well. This battery cutting their way through the retreating men. Get on those guns. I want you to fire into this mess. Maybe I should allow my troops to get better stamina, and then we'll go try and end the entire thing with a bayonet charge. Something like that. Maybe you should attack that unit instead. And I'll just turn one of these guys around to murder that battery. Oh, they guard grenadiers. slowly advancing to face us. But what do they have left of the rest here? It's all crap. Militia, musketeers. I don't want to risk moving everyone across in a charge when we're so tired, and then having the entire army break on something as stupid as that, when I could probably just have my men standing out here and rest. Oh, he's actually deployed now. Let's unnerve him. That's extreme range, but just unnerve the battery. Oh, they're moving forward now. Hold fire, switch to canister. And that will surely do a lot of damage to those bastards. Right, we're getting shot in the back. But they're moving their stupid battery again. Oh, we had one brave cannoneer that decided to leave the battery so that we wouldn't reload. Completely unnecessary when we could have just... we could have actually fired off a shot. But the lifeguard was able to gain some respite out of that. I feel like it's time we end this. This battery have somehow survived countless charged by the enemy, and every time they've managed to run away and then come back to the battery. Join this side now. There's no point in shooting at it as it is now. Charging it while exhausted probably isn't going to work, but at that range we might very well be able to do quite a bit of damage on them. Right, let's not get too close here, since it's an actual guard unit that we're fighting. And the way of the land... let's see if the guards should surely... at this range as well. Point blank range. You can't get any closer. Fire at will! End them! If the charge fails, I still have the guards, the lights, and my guns. This charge might not work too well. And the one going straight into the guards. Hold fire while the charge is going in. Let's get closer up on the hill. Well, it seemed like my charge, to some extent, was successful. The enemy's guard is holding on, though. But for how long? Oh, the battery started moving already. And this guy just moved past it. Can I kind of quickly get everyone to get into lines here? Can I get this one to fire on the battery? The charges went surprisingly well. I only had one unit route. And it looks like we're gonna break their entire force here. Alright, let's end them. Everyone forward. You can move closer to deal with that one. And only really the militia battalion stands.
The men are fatigued, sir,
as the
and must rest
guards
awhile.
join in on the fight. Order the lines forward. Order the battery to hold fire. And there we go. Let's make sure we get as many of these as possible. We keep just chasing this guy when...
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
Why aren't you firing on them? It's because these guys are in the way? They're retreating. The cowards. Fire through them. Damn you. I think my troops are probably too tired to actually get charging at these. But anyways, I mean the battle is won at this point. There's no way they're gonna be able to turn it around at this point. So there we go. The Dutch war ended and Mecklenburg forced into absorbed into the greater German Empire. Here's the result of the battle. We deployed 2,500 roughly against 4,000 of the enemy. We ended up losing about 600 men, while the enemy lost 3,500. We have 1911 men remaining against the enemy's 600. In terms of what we killed of our own, it was roughly 50 men. 51 I think to be exact, while the enemy killed about 20 or so of their own. So not a lot there. What we can see is there's a grenadier that killed the most at close to 600, followed by the lifeguard grenadiers. and close to 600 as well. And then there's a falling amount here through. But everyone killed something, and quite a lot to be sure. But then again, there was a lot of armed citizenry that, I mean, what's the point of even deploying them at some point? And we were able to both, there was no proper general here. A Balder Fish versus Lothar Rothschild. And with that, just incorporated another German province and completely ended this country. Right, in between episodes, we will be setting up for the war against the Saxons, but more so against the Austrians, as they will be the main target. Currently, Austria is fighting Sweden, Bavaria, and France. They are allied with Russia, which could pose a problem. I would have to work some diplomatic solutions here to avoid finding two great empires here, as we are trying to avoid that. That would be quite disastrous, I think, to be forced to fight both Austria and Russia at the same time. And it's definitely not something I have planned on doing. It could be a thing though, because I would be able to eliminate Warsaw and Greater Poland, which currently is kind of in the middle of everything here, to kind of push the Russians away and increase some space for us. Right. With that, it's time to end the episode. So, as always, I'll say, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!